What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to figure out whether or not there's a tie for our blackjack game with PyQt5 and Python. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to figure out whether or not there's a tie right when the game starts. But before we get started, I want to let you know there is 1 day left of the special sale over at Codemy.com, my birthday sale. You can use coupon code BIRTHDAY44 to get all my courses, total membership, for just $44, regularly priced $198. So go ahead and take advantage of that if you're interested. That coupon code will be available for the next day. Tomorrow it will expire, so if you're interested, go ahead and grab that now. So let's head over to our code.
I'm using the Sublime Text Editor and the Get Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other PyQt5 videos in the series, so check that out if you haven't so far. So I've just got our code that we worked on in the last video. If you didn't see that, check the playlist. And I've renamed it Blackjack_3. It used to be Blackjack_2. So what we want to do here is, let me just run this real quick. And you can see right off the bat, the dealer has an ace and a jack, and the player has a queen and an ace. Both have 21. What do? Well, in blackjack, that's called a push. It's a tie. Nobody wins, and we just start over. So you can see right here, we've got a little message box that's still green. We're going to have to change that in a little bit because that's annoying me. And you can see it says push. It's a tie, right? Otherwise, we can shuffle up. And this time the dealer wins, right? So fairly simple. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here to our shuffle function and let's create a Python dictionary. Let's create dictionary to keep track of blackjack status. Let's just call it. And I'm gonna call this self.blackjack_status. And I'm gonna set that equal to a Python dictionary. And we need to keep track of whether or not the dealer and the player has blackjack. So, dictionaries are key value pairs. We're gonna have 2 keys, one for a dealer, one for the player. The value is gonna be whether or not yes or no, they have blackjack. So I'm just gonna call the first one dealer, and we're gonna set this to no right off the bat when the game starts. And we've also got one for player, and I'm gonna set that to no right when the game starts. So this will get called every time the game restarts, every time we shuffle, and that will just reset back to no and no. So now we can just run some logic and update this thing if the dealer or the player has blackjack to change it from no to yes. Then we'll run some logic to say, hey, if it says yes, if they both say yes, that's a tie. If one of them says yes, that one won. If the dealer says yes and the player says no, the dealer won. If the player says yes and the dealer says no, the player won. So pretty simple. And we're going to do all of this in our blackjack check function that we worked on in the last video. So you can see we start out with the dealer. If the dealer has been dealt 2 cards, and those cards add up to 21, we used to just say, hey, the dealer wins. But now we can't do that. We need to just change the status of that to blackjack dealer yes, right? So to do that, we would just go, let's say, change blackjack status to yes, right? So we'll just go self.blackjack_status. And then we're dealing here with the dealer key value pair. So we'll type in dealer here. And we can just set that equal to yes, right? So I'm gonna copy this and we're gonna come down here to the player and do the same thing, but this is gonna be, instead of the dealer, this will be player, all right? So we're gonna get rid of this stuff here and this stuff here, these message boxes in just a minute. But now this is basically all we need. Now we can just run some logic to see, hey, if these both say yes, that's a tie, that's a push, right? If only one of them says yes, then that one won. So let's come down here and do that. Let's create another if statement. And let's say check for blackjack. Let's give us some space here. And let's make sure, again, that both of these, player and dealer, have 2 cards. So if len self-player score equals 2, and let me just paste this again, and dealer score equals 2, there we go. Then both the player and the dealer have 2 cards, right? So we know we're in the right spot here. So let's run some logic on each of these things to see if they're yes. So let's go if self.blackjack_status for the dealer equals yes, and blackjack_status for the player equals yes. Well, that's a tie. Right? What do we want to do? Well, let's just paste this in and change this around. So here, instead of player wins, let's say push. And let's say it's a tie, whatever, right? So here, let me just comment check for tie. And then we want to disable the buttons as normal, right? Okay, so then Elif. Now let's check for dealer win. So here I'm just going to copy this. And let's just say that. Then let's come up here and let's grab this stuff from the last video. And then come down here and paste that in. This is going to be, the message that says dealer wins. And then we're going to disable the buttons. And then finally, let's check for player win. And let's maybe space these out a bit. And here, I'm just going to come up here and grab this guy. And give this another Elif. Then we can come up here and grab the player message box stuff and paste that in. Okay, and that should be it. We're good to go. So just to recap real quick, we start out, we say, hey, we're 2 cards dealt to the dealer. Yes, if those 2 cards add up to 21, change the blackjack status of the dealer to yes. Same thing for the player. If 2 cards have been dealt and those cards equal 21, change the blackjack status of the player to yes. Then we just want to come down here and do some basic logic. If, 2 cards have been dealt, and then if the dealer is yes and the player is yes, well, then that's a tie. They're both blackjack. Then we do a little message that says it's a tie, disable the buttons. Otherwise, if just the dealer's blackjack status is yes, then the dealer wins. Otherwise, if just the player's blackjack status is yes, then the player wins. And that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and save this and run it. Blackjack_3. So I'm in my C PyQt5 directory. I got my virtual environment turned on. And we can just go Python blackjack_3.py. And we can shuffle a bunch of times until somebody wins and the dealer wins with blackjack. That looks good. We can do it some more. Dealer wins again. See if we can get the player to win here once. There we go. Blackjack player wins. And you could keep hitting this a zillion times. I did it earlier until I got a double blackjack. Takes forever to get there just randomly, or maybe you'll get lucky, but it will work with this code. I tested it out just to make sure, and that's all there is to it. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code BIRTHDAY44 for the next day to get all my courses for just $44, regularly priced $198. So that's access to all my courses, over 50 courses, thousands of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 150,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.